Ladies and gentlemen, Alycia Baumgardner with a strong opinion stating that Mikaela Mayer will beat Claressa Shields. Mikaela Mayer will beat Claressa Shields.
Mikaela Mayer would beat Claressa. Claressa doesn't have technical skills. I think she beats Claressa easy. She's sloppy when she throws her punches. Claressa looked slow in her last fight.
To be honest, I don't agree. I think that Claressa Shields will beat Mikaela Mayer, but I do agree that I could see that Mikaela Mayer does have better technical skills or have exhibited better technical skills. I think that Claressa Shields has been looking sloppy of late, but you know what I'm saying? She's trying to be more entertaining. She's trying to get the knockout. I think that's why she's looking a little bit sloppy in her, last several fights, because I think she's trying to get the knockouts. I think that she's hearing a lot of people, the criticism of her not getting enough knockouts. When to compare her to, the greats like Laila Ali and Amanda Serrano, Christy Martin, as being that she lacks being a knockout artist, and I think that she's going out there trying to get the knockout, which makes her look a little bit sloppy, even though that she's winning the fights and most of the rounds in her fight. And I just think that she just doesn't have the power. But I don't think that Mikaela Mayer could beat Claressa Shields, though. Even her having slightly better the technical skills, and that's arguably right. I think Mikaela Mayer has been in wars. Mikaela Mayer lost to Alycia Baumgardner. Mikaela Mayer lost to Natasha Jonas. You know what I'm saying? She did win a war with Sandy Ryan. You feel me? So I don't know if she could beat Claressa Shields. I think it'll be highly competitive because Claressa Shields, who is in the heavyweight division, Mikaela Mayer just moved up recently to the 154-pound division. Her last fight was in 154 for a title fight. She did come from the featherweight division, in which several years ago, that's when she fought Alycia Baumgardner in the featherweight division. So I think that Claressa Shields does got size. Mikaela Mayer does got the height. She does got the skills to pay the bills, but I think that she's just gonna come a little bit short versus Claressa Shields, in my opinion. So now I really don't agree with the Alycia Baumgardner opinion about Mikaela Mayer beating Claressa Shields, but I could see that she could have a little slight technical skills. I think she does have some good footwork. She does have a good jab, but Claressa Shields also got a good jab. I'm telling you, Claressa Shields is highly skillful. She's one of the greatest that ever laced them up. You know what I'm saying? We can't say nothing away from Claressa Shields, but I also think that she hasn't been in the ring with technical skill fighters or great skill fighters in women boxing. You know what I'm saying? And look, Mikaela Mayer been been in the ring with the likes of Alycia Baumgardner, Natasha Jonas, Sandy Ryan, and she in my opinion, she has a tougher opponents, better opponents. Up there where Claressa Shields is at, is not a lot of great technical boxers up there. So she is looking the way that she's supposed to be looking. As a matter of fact, I do believe that Claressa Shields, because of the people that she's been fighting outside of Franchon Crew-Dejeuner, because Franchon Crew-Dejeuner is an accomplished fighter, super middleweight, undisputed, right? But she already had her number, so it was a comfortable fight for Claressa Shields, and that's why we want to see Claressa Shields versus the Boogie Woman, Shadasia Green, who is also going to be performing in the co-main event to Alycia Baumgardner next fight. April 17th in Madison Square Garden. Shadasia Green going to be fighting one of the opponents that Claressa Shields did beat, I believe, Lanny Daniels. I think she's going to Shadasia Green I think if she want to send that type of statement that she is the most dangerous fighter, I think she's already is. She don't even got to make the statement, but it will be good to make the statement versus Lanny Daniels. She already beat the only woman that's beaten Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall, right? So if she could beat Savannah Marshall, and she beat her better than Claressa Shields beat Savannah Marshall. You already know Savannah Marshall did beat Claressa Shields in the amateur. That's the only loss, right? If Shadasia Green knocks out Lanny Daniels, in which Claressa Shields couldn't do, then, you know what I'm saying, it furthers the statement, and it furthers, people really asking for the fight. I think the two biggest fights in women boxing right now will be Amanda Serrano versus Alycia Baumgardner, and Claressa Shields versus Shadeja Green. There's other great fights to be made. Also, look, Mikaela Mayer lost to Natasha Jonas, right? You know what I'm saying? So losing to Natasha Jonas and losing to, and shout out to Natasha Jonas. She is a great talent, going to be a future Hall of Famer. I just don't see. And if the fight goes to at 160, middleweight, or they could fight in the catch weight. Claressa Shields did once fight in 154 in the middleweight division, so hopefully she could come back down. I remember when there was talks years ago about what if she would like to fight Katie Taylor. She said that she wouldn't come down because she don't want to lose her booty. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to lose that type of weight. But she does got a recent huge $8 million contract, and you got to make that money back. You feel me? And I think that the names are there, but the names are not in her division. So it's either you fight Shadeja Green, or you're gonna have to force yourself to lose that weight and at least get at least a catch weight with a Mikaela Mayer. And I think it'll be a wonderful fight. Both Olympian, they friends, they know each other. As a matter of fact, Claressa Shields was going for Mikaela Mayer to beat Alycia Baumgardner, which Alycia Baumgardner did upset Mikaela Mayer, and Claressa Shields was going against Alycia Baumgardner on that fight. So, look, I would still love to see Alycia Baumgardner versus Mikaela Mayer, the rematch, but she moves so up that I don't know if that's gonna be realistic anytime soon. I don't know if Claressa Shields versus Mikaela Mayer will be realistic anytime soon. But Mikaela Mayer just signed to Most Valuable Promotions. She is a stable mate with Alycia Baumgardner and almost 90% of the women in the sport of boxing. Man, it would have been better if Claressa Shields would have signed with MVP. But let's see what's gonna be next for Claressa Shields. I heard that she's gonna be fighting in Atlanta in May. Let's see what the future holds. Let's see who's gonna be the next opponent, but it better be a good one. It better be a good one. Out of the Shadeja Green, or I believe that Claressa Shields should be forced to move down. And let's see. I think it will be a great fight. I think it'll be a great promo. In the sport of boxing, they will play that race card. You know what I'm saying? White versus black, black versus white. You know what I'm saying? That is going to come. That's just the nature of the sport. You know what I'm saying? The rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, African American versus Mexico. Those things sell. The UK versus America, the UK versus Ireland, Ireland versus Puerto Rico is, it is like that in the sport of boxing. So trust me, it will come to play. The black versus white, white versus black storyline. Let me know what y'all think, man. This is Punch Wrong Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.